This could be some part of derivation and the numerical problems related to estimation of runoff and calculating the groundwater velocity and the yield of a particular well. Okay, so now the sources you are already familiar with, the surface water sources and groundwater sources. Surface water also we have discussed 2, 3 like river, lake, reservoirs and other things we have discussed. In the case of groundwater, we have also discussed with the well infiltration galleries and other things. Okay, and basic fundamental things and concepts we have discussed. Okay. So one part remaining is numerical calculations. So this I'll probably discuss the essential formulas to look into and calculations. So these problems are not very challenging, but only thing is about just understand the basic concepts, how to calculate these parameters. Okay, yeah. So let me start with the surface water. Number one, how to estimate the runoff in a particular locality. Okay, you can use two different formulas. One is English formula. Another one is about Hausdorff's formula to calculate the runoff. Okay, yeah. So the first one is English formula. That is runoff calculation. Qy is equal to 0.85 into Py minus 30.4. You can use areas related to hilly catchments. Okay. And if it is the plain areas, then you can calculate using this formula. Qy is equal to Py into Py minus 17.8 by 254. So these are the numerical relationship based on a lot of field data. Okay, so you need not mug up the formulas. At least for your reference, for examination point of view, you can at least refer these formulas for calculations. Okay, so where Qy is equal to yearly runoff in centimeter depth over the basin. Okay, so please remember this. And remember the formulas along with the notations as well. Qy is equal to yearly runoff in centimeter depth over the basin, and Py is equal to yearly precipitation or annual rainfall in centimeter. Okay, if I know the rainfall details in a particular locality, okay, if I also familiar with the catchment related segments, if it is a hilly area or plain area, and it is possible to calculate the runoff in a particular locality. Okay, so that is very simple. English formula for hilly catchment and plain areas. The second one is Hausdorff's formula for any catchment. Okay, that is not with respect to a particular catchment. For any catchment, Q is equal to P minus 0.4813 Tm, where the Tm is equal to mean yearly or monthly temperature. So please remember that only the difference. All others are same. Q is equal to yearly or monthly runoff in centimeter, and P is equal to yearly or monthly rainfall in centimeter. Okay, so yes. So Q you can calculate monthly or yearly runoff in centimeter, and P whatever you are getting the data yearly or monthly rainfall in centimeter, and Tm is equal to mean yearly or monthly temperature. So these data you can probably get it from meteorological department. Okay, each and every place you may have a rainfall stations. You would have come across rainfall stations in airports, rainfall stations in meteorological department, where you can collect the data and find out the yearly or monthly runoff, monthly rainfall and mean temperature. You just calculate and substitute in this equation. You find out the runoff, estimation of runoff. Okay, so we'll see one typical problem. The design annual rainfall for the catchment of a proposed reservoir has been computed as 99 centimeter. The catchment area has been estimated to have a mean annual temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. The catchment area contributing to the proposed reservoir is 1000 square kilometer. So for this condition, you have to calculate the annual design yield for this reservoir. It's very simple. Okay, so I'm going to propose a reservoir, and for that, and I have to also define what is the catchment area in a particular locality and what could be the annual design yield for the reservoir. That's okay. So something before identification of any or before proposal of any reservoir plan or any water sources, normally they may do these estimations. Okay, it's very simple. Proposal of one new reservoir, and the data are given are the catchment area, which is spread over almost 1000 square kilometers, and the rainfall, annual rainfall in a particular locality is 99 centimeter. Average design annual rainfall in the catchment area 99 centimeter, and temperature is also 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so if temperature is being given, then you can use Hausdorff's formula. Write down the formula. Q is equal to P minus 0.4813 into Q, 13 into Tm, and P it is already given 99 centimeter, and Tm is 20 centimeter, and you can substitute directly where Q in terms of 0.894 meter. Okay, Q is equal to, so Q is also we have discussed, Q is equal to yearly or monthly runoff in centimeter. So here whatever we are given is this 89.4 centimeter, so it is being converted to 0.89 meter. Okay, so it is also been proposed to calculate 1000 square kilometers. So 1000 square kilometers is 1000 into 10 power 6 meters square. Okay, so now you can calculate how much is the yield. Okay, so that is 1000. This is your per kilo this is 0.894. This is your Q value into 1000 square kilometers. 1000 square kilometers. So you make it in terms of meter square, and it is also possible to project in terms of hectare meter. Okay, so 1 hectare meter is equal 1 hectare is equal to 10 power 4 meter square. So you can calculate now the annual design yield is equal to 89,400 hectare meter of the water yield or the surface water yield from a particular catchment area of 1000 square kilometer. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Rashwanti can interact with me. Yeah. Okay, so this is not very challenging, and depending upon your situation, you can also read the problem carefully, and you can use either English formula or Kosla's formula to calculate runoff calculations. Okay, yeah. So we'll move on to the second segment. Second segment, this is your groundwater. Okay, here also again the estimation of groundwater, not quantity but velocity is important. Groundwater velocity, and it is being estimated with two different formulas. One is about Schlichter's formula, another one is about Hazen's formula. And Schlichter's formula again, VA is equal to K dash into I D10 square divided by mu value. So these are also, we are already familiar with the terms, where VA is equal to velocity of groundwater in terms of meter per day. K dash is equal to constant, that is non-dimensional constant, and you can take K dash as 400 for adopted unit. You can simply remember K dash as 400, and I is equal to slope of hydraulic gradient line. Slope, okay, hydraulic gradient line. This also we discussed, and D10 is equal to effective size of particle in the aquifer. Okay, D10 you would have come across in soil mechanics. Okay, that is just find out the effective size, and mu is equal to viscosity of water in centipoise. Okay, in centipoise, and you can also remember most of the calculations is being done at 20 degrees Celsius. So there at 20 degrees Celsius, mu value is equal to 1 centipoise. Okay, so remember this equation, or you can use directly as Hazen's formula. Okay, Hazen's formula, it is K dash I d square divided by 60 into 1.8 T plus 42, where T is equal to temperature in degrees Celsius, and K double dash, but to differentiate K dash and K double dash here. So K double dash, the value you can substitute as 1000. Okay, 1000. Okay, yes. So please remember these formulas. Okay, these formulas to calculate the velocity of groundwater. Is it okay? Two formulas. One is Schlichter's formula. This is about Hazen's formula. Is it fine?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. These are also direct substitutions. That is not very challenging. Okay. Find out the velocity of the groundwater flow with the following data using Schlichter's and Hazen's formula, or Hazen's constants 400 or 800. If it is anything being mentioned in the problem, take it that or use that value. Or if it is not mentioned anything on, and for K dash in the case of Schlichter's, you can use 400, and Hazen's you can use 1000. If it is anything on mentioned, use that particular value. So temperature is also being mentioned as 20 degrees Celsius, and effective size based on the experiments is also been mentioned as 0.1 mm, and hydraulic gradient I is also been mentioned as 1 in 100. So you can use directly this formula. VA is equal to K dash I D10 square, effective size square divided by mu value. So 400 it has been mentioned, and I value is 1 in 80, so 1 in 1 by 80, and diameter that is effective size is being mentioned 0.1 square. Okay, if you substitute and calculate, VA becomes 0.05 meter per day. Okay, this also you can also express in terms of meter, centimeter, anything based on your convenience. You can centimeter per second or centimeter per day, centimeter per minute, anything you can calculate. Okay, yeah. And Hazen's formula here, the direct substitutions again, K double dash is mentioned as is 800. So I'm substituting as 800 here. I is equal to 1 by 80 and D10 is again 0.1 divided by 60, 1.5 into, I think this is 10 or 20, I'm not sure about, you just check. Anyway, I'll also check out. Okay, 20 plus 42. Okay, so here you may get velocity as 0.1 meter per day. Is it okay? So these are also not very challenging. And these are direct substitution of formulas. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, surface water and groundwater. Surface water, it is only the quantity or surface runoff. In the groundwater, you are in a position to estimate the velocity of water. Velocity of water in a particular aquifer or something. Okay, yeah. So being familiar with surface and groundwater, we'll move on to now infiltration gallery. Okay, infiltration gallery. Okay, okay. So what is the definition of infiltration gallery? Somebody can throw light on that. What is infiltration gallery? What is or by looking into the diagram, you can also mention what is infiltration gallery. Yeah, come on, quick. What is infiltration gallery? So this we have discussed in the last class, right? That's a theory.
Sir, it is a tunnel which is constructed.
Yeah, tunnel-like structure, which is also constructed by a brick masonry, where you can tap water. That is very simple. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is the actual profile or flow pattern in an infiltration gallery. Okay. You can look into all derivations are also very small and very easy also to understand. Okay. So this is your now infiltration gallery. Okay. And this could be your water table. Okay. You just for the drawing, you can also note down my like whatever I am drawing right now above or I am tracing out with the violet color, you can also make a note on. Okay, this is your infiltration gallery, and this is your depth of water in the infiltration gallery H. Okay, and this profile is your water table. This profile is this water table. Okay, and if I withdraw water from the infiltration gallery, there could be a reduction in water length or reduction in water table. Reduction in water table, that you can simply call it as drawdown. Drawdown. Okay, so water will be seeping from the aquifer to the infiltration gallery. That's what is in marked the arrows towards infiltration gallery. You could able to see now the infiltration gallery water flow movement, and these are soil, saturated soil. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now I'm considering a portion of soil in the the infiltration gallery, and capital H and also small h also, you just make a note on capital H and small h. Capital H is equal to depth of water or height of water inside the infiltration gallery, and H is equal to capital H is equal to depth of your aquifer. Depth of your aquifer. Okay. Yes. Okay. Is it okay? So you can remember simply, and then you can also, like, I'm considering a portion or a small, say example, stretch of aquifer with the depth of or with the dimensions of dx, and which is away from x distance from an infiltration gallery. Okay, these are stories you can remember. Is it okay? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, R is equal to radius of influence. That I'll come back later what it is. Okay, R is equal to radius of influence. But now imagine our situations, and this side also you may have this one. Have you got my point? This also you may have. This is, I'm considering only one, but you may get. And if I connect a circle, you could able to see like a flow path. That is your radius of influence. Have you got my point? Okay, left side also if you project the same thing, so I may get a graph, I may get a, okay, so this could be a circle. Okay, so this could be the radius of influence. Radius of influence. Okay, the definition I'll come back later with the. Okay, now I'm considering a small portion of aquifer with the dimensions of dx. Okay, or I may consider a point P here. Okay, I may consider a point P, and which may have ordinates of x and y. Okay, so that's what is being mentioned. So the discharge, discharge from a gallery can be calculated using the Darcy's formula. So this also we have discussed. Q is directly proportional to I into A, and QoS is equal to K into I into A. So this is what we have discussed in the previous lecture. Q is equal to K into I into A, where I is equal to your gradient, hydraulic gradient, and A is equal to area. Okay, so the discharge from a gallery can be computed using Darcy's formula, where Q is equal to K into I into A. Okay, so now you consider a point P, on the drawdown curve has a coordinates of x and y. Is it okay? So I'm considering a point P in the drawdown curve which has a coordinate of x and y. Okay. So on considering a small element of width dx, okay. So obviously the head will be dy by dx. Okay, please remember these are small fundamental concepts you can remember. Okay, I'm considering a point P on the drawdown curve which may have a coordinates of x and y. So this could be dx and this could be your dy. Okay, so I'm considering a small element of width dx. Okay, thereby if I consider this one is dx, then obviously this length may be this one may be dy. So thereby the head gradient will be dy by dx. Okay, and the area of the soil through which flow occurs will be y into L. This is your y into L, where L is equal to perpendicular to the board or the screen what you are looking into. Is it okay?
Okay.
Is it fine? So dx I'm considering, and if I consider dx is a small element of width, then obviously your height gradient will be dy by dx. Then this also will okay, y as well as is L I cannot. Okay, so L may be the length of your say example the gallery which is perpendicular to the paper, Okay, yes. So thereby if I want to find out what is the total discharge is equal to integration of K. So I'm substituting here. Okay, K into dy by dx is equal to your hydraulic gradient or head gradient into the area is equal to y into L. Is it okay? All others may be very simple. So if I able to write this is discharge equations, all others are easy. Is it fine? Q is equal to integration of K into I again the head gradient which is equal to dy by dx, and area of the gallery is equal to y into L, where L is equal to length of the gallery which is perpendicular to the board or your screen what you are now listening into. Okay, is it okay? But now I have to integrate, because if I want to have the calculation of discharge, so Q into dx which is equal to K into L, and all is constant. K is constant and L is equal to constant. So integration of y into dy, where the limits the x varies from 0 to r. That's what I told you. 0 to r. X varies between 0 to r, where r is equal to the radius of influence that I already mentioned, and y is equal to the varies between capital H and also small h. Okay, y varies between capital H and also small h. Okay, where head H I have already mentioned to you, that is head of depth of water in the gallery on pumping at equilibrium. This is your small h, and capital H is equal to right hand side. Capital H is equal to static water head, that is height of water above the bottom of the gallery, above the initial water head. Okay, initial water head. That is his static height of initial water above the bottom of the gallery. Okay, so you just remember this equation. Let me repeat again. Integration of x is equal to 0 to x is equal to r Q into dx, which is equal to integration K into L are constant. Integration of that is a small h to capital H y into dy. Okay, and if I solve this equation, probably I could be able to find out what is Q value. Is it okay? All others are very simple. Is it fine?
Okay.
Yeah. So now if I integrate x, it will become, sorry, integrate dx, I may get x. If I integrate y, I may get y square by 2. Okay, y square by 2. Substitute the limits q into r minus 0. So this is qr, k into l. Then I may get h square by 2 minus small h square by 2, lower and also upper limit. So I may get equations like this. Okay, so thereby the q becomes now q is equal to k into l into h square minus small h square divided by 2 into r, where this equation can be used to calculate the discharge in the infiltration gallery, where K is equal to permeability coefficient of the aquifer, L is equal to length of gallery, R is equal to radius of influence, then H is equal to static water level above the bottom of the gallery, and the small h is equal to depth of water in the gallery on pumping equilibrium. Is it okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So once you're familiar with the equations, I can play with any number of problems. If you refer any textbooks, you are in a position to calculate Q, and you are once this Q is known, you are in a position to calculate L, or all other Q and L are known, you are in a position to calculate capital H, or you are in a position to calculate what is this fourth parameters, and what you are in a position to calculate 5 different set of problems you can able to solve. Is it okay? So only thing is about these fundamental that flow pattern in the infiltration gallery and how to calculate or solve for Q calculations based on Darcy's equation. Okay, yeah. So let me give one sample problem. Okay, if you find any textbooks, you may get a lot of problems to calculate, but not very tricky or high funda problems, only on these combinations. Okay, and if you could able to understand the problem neatly, then you can solve any number of problems. Okay, yes. Now you can read the problem. 600 meter cube per day of water is to be obtained from a proposed infiltration gallery, which is placed 6 meter depth from a subsurface water table. The coefficient of permeability of the soil aquifer is 100 meter per day. And find the depth of the gallery if the drawdown in the gallery on pumping not to exceed 4 meter. The rate of infiltration is measured to be 100 meters. Okay, so you are in a position to read out the problem and convert in terms of the required notations. Okay, so Q has been mentioned as 600 meter cube per day, and permeability, coefficient of permeability has also been mentioned 100 meter per day, and capital H, that is given as 6 meter. Radius of influence has been mentioned 100 meters. Then you have to calculate what is H value. H is equal to 6 meter minus the 4 meter is being mentioned as, you can also read the depth of gallery of the drawdown in the gallery on pumping is not to exceed 4 meters. Okay, so thereby this H becomes 2 meter. Okay, so all others are direct substitution. 600 meter cube per day, which is equal to K, that is 100 meter per day, into L. It's a unknown value because it has been asked to calculate the depth of the gallery. Okay, and H is equal to 6 meter, small h is equal to 2 meter, and radius of influence is equal to 100 meter, and thereby you can calculate what is the length of the gallery as 37.5 meter. Is it okay? Is it fine, Rashwant?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are not, anyway, that I'm not going to solve so many problems, but remember these equations, and you can also play with these different calculations. You can able to calculate Q and find out L. L we have solved now, and you can also calculate these with respect. If I want to have a Q value and what could be the drawdown, or what could be the changes in H value, or what could be the radius of influence. So 5 different set of problems you can calculate or use in the case of infiltration gallery. Okay, yes, yeah. Okay, and we'll move on to the third one. Third one is your yield of a open well. Well also comes under. Anyway, this we have discussed in the last class in the theory also. Okay. So theoretical method is very easy because if a well is penetrated through an aquifer and water will rush through with a velocity of v, is the velocity of v, and if the surface area of the aquifer is known, then when I can use this formula. Okay, so Q is equal to AS into V, where V is, and V again, this depends on the porosity of the soil. That's what we have discussed. Okay, so VA is equal to actual velocity, and V is equal to velocity of water rushes into the well, and N is equal to porosity of the sample. Okay, if I substitute here, and Q is equal to N into VA into AS. Okay, so in this equation, Vs can be calculated using Schlichter's and also Hazen's formula, whatever we are discussing in the initially. Okay, because in the groundwater you can use Schlichter's and Hazen's formula to calculate the groundwater velocity. Okay, and As, if the dimensions of the well, okay, especially on diameter and height of water, okay, height of or depth of the forest strata is known, okay, and I can able to calculate area is equal to pi dh, pi dh. That's what is being mentioned. Pi dh I can able to calculate, and the porosity of the soil can be studied or can be found out by studying the sample of soil in the laboratory. Okay, so you would have seen in the soil mechanics how to find out the porosity of the sample. So knowing the value of N, VA and A, you can calculate the Q value. So this is the theoretical method. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, theoretical method is very simple. Okay, so Q is the formula, A is into V, and V is again related to a porosity, and substitute in the first equation. Q is equal to N into VA into AS, and in this equation VA is unknown and N is unknown, and the area also you have to calculate. So VA can be calculated or found using Schlichter's and Hazen's formula, and if the diameter of the well and the depth of the well or porous strata is known, you can able to calculate the AS value by pi dh. Okay, and then you just take out the sample in the aquifer, brought it to the laboratory and analyze or find out what is porosity of the sample. By knowing N, Vs and AS, you can calculate the Q value directly. Okay, yes. The second one is field measurements, or you would have seen yield test. Okay, once you go for a bore or tube well in the house constructions or in a, say example, industrial operations, and people may ask for what is your yield of your well. Okay, very simple. They may ask yield of your well, and based on the yield only you could able to find out or fix the capacity of the pump. Okay, so the field measurements or field test are: number one is pumping test, and second one is about recuperating test. This also we discussed in the last class. Okay, so let me repeat again. Pumping test: you just install a pump so that to draw a sufficient supply of water from an open well and to cause a heavy drawdown in its water level. You just what do you do? You just pump out. Okay, pump out. Install a pump and pump the water, and to make or to draw sufficient water. Thereby, you just make a cause or make to cause a like heavy drawdown in the water level. Okay, so water drawdown is something similar. Okay, you have a water and install a pump out continuously, and you may get a drawdown like this. You may get a drawdown like this. This is your well. Is it okay? Okay, so what you do now, you just adjust the pump in such a way that the rate of pumping is equal to rate of pumping will be equal to rate of your yield. Is it okay? You just adjust the pumping. Okay, initially what you do is just pump out and you make a heavy drawdown to occur, and then you also monitor the head of the well, and you also adjust the pumping rate. Thereby you just make a system. Rate of pumping is equal to rate of your yield. Okay, rate of your yield for a particular drawdown. If I want to maintain a drawdown like this, I can make it. Is it okay? If I want to make a drawdown like this, I can make it by adjusting the pumping rate. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this condition you have to remember. In this condition of equilibrium, the rate of pumping will be equal to the rate of yield, and hence the rate of pumping is directly give the yield. Directly give the yield of the well for a particular drawdown. Okay, for a particular drawdown. This is something is important. For a particular drawdown, I can adjust the pump. Thereby, whatever it is I'm pumping out, that will be equal to yield of my well. Yield of my well. Okay, yes. Or otherwise, knowing the yield, say example Q1 and the drawdown S1, okay, because I'm adjusting now, Q becomes Q1 and S becomes S1. Then, and you can also use the Darcy's equation. You can use Darcy's equation. Q is equal to K into I into A, and Q is equal to K. I you can calculate S by L into A, and thus K is constant, L is also constant, A and S, or otherwise you can remember simply as Q is equal to CAS. Q is equal to CAS, where S is equal to your depression head and C is equal to constant, and then you can also calculate what is your node discharge by using this form. This is a general formula. By using what drawdown you want for a particular drawdown, and you can also calculate what is your Q1 value. Is it okay? So this also we discussed in the last class. Is it okay? So you just switch on the pump, install a pump, switch on a pump, you just make a heavy drawdown. And in what particular drawdown, if you want to make it, you adjust the pump to make a uniform drawdown to occur. And in that sense, where whatever you are pumping out is equal to the yield of the pump. Okay. Or you can use this formula to calculate the yield. Is it okay?
So drawdown is height.
Yeah, drawdown what I mentioned. No? So this is your well. And this is your water level initially, water table. Is it okay? Now, if I go for a pump like this, pumping, what will happen? So my water level will come down like this. Okay. So I call it as drawdown. Is it okay? Yeah. Because the water level change. That's all. You simply remember as is the water level change because of your pumping. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. The third test is about recuperating test. Third one is recuperating. What main drawback in the pumping test is frequent adjustment to make a uniform drawdown is very, very tough, very difficult. Okay. So to overcome that, that's what the pumping test gives us the accurate value of say field, but sometimes it becomes very difficult to adjust the rate of pumping so as to keep the well water constant, well water level constant. It's very tough. Okay, you cannot maintain a uniform drawdown for a particular pumping. It's very, very tough, tedious process as well. Okay, so to overcome that, and it has been tried with recuperating test. This something is important. Recuperating test. So here the water is first water of all. So you just drain off all the water from the well as a faster rate, so that to cause a sufficient drawdown. Then what you do now? Stop the pump. Stop the pump. Now what will happen? Because of this stoppage of this pump, water level start rising. Water level will start rising. Then you just measure the time taken by the water to come back to the normal level. Okay. Then or to some other measured level is then noted. Okay. This is the only difference. Okay. Please remember even though that pumping method is very accurate, it is very difficult to maintain a constant drawdown. Okay, and frequent adjustment for a particular drawdown is very, very difficult. So to overcome that, another test is being tried. That is called a recuperating test. Okay, that's very simple. What you do is just pump the water in a faster rate to cause a sufficient drawdown. Okay, then you just stop the pump. Then third one is just, if you stop, obviously the water level will rise in the well, and you just measure how much time is taken by a water to come back to the normal, or some level of measured level of your drawdown is just note down the time taken by the water to come back to the normal level, or some other measured level. Okay, measured level. Okay, so with that you can able to calculate what is your discharge or yield of the particular well. Okay, so that is being explained in this diagram. Okay, yes. Okay, this is you just see that this is your water. This is your This is your ground level. Okay, and below that you have your well. Okay, now you just look into the diagram. You have your A and B is the original profile of water, original water level. Is it okay? Original water level. And C and D, and if you pump out continuously, or you just have a heavy pumping and you just make the water to draw down from A, B to C and D. Is it okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Then allow the water to recuperate further, and then it will come back to recouped level of this one, E and F. AB just note down, and CD you should be familiar, and EF you should be familiar. What is AB? You can interact because these are some important points. What is AB? AB is the original water level. Okay. Then what I do, I pump out the water continuously. I'll make the drawdown to happen, and thereby my water level has gone down to C and D level. Is it okay? C and D with the head of S1, drawdown head. Okay. So what will happen now? Now let me make a note on the time taken to recuperate further into a level of a certain level, one particular level, that is S2. So that is your recouped level after time T. Is it fine? So you are in a position to draw this diagram. Okay, so now you can look into the status. AB is equal to static water level in the well before the pumping was started, and CD is equal to water level in the well when the pumping was stopped. That's what I told you. And S1 is equal to depression head in the well at the time the pumping was stopped, and EF is equal to water level in the well at the noted time, recuperating test time, and S2 is equal to, I guess, yeah, S2 is equal to S2 here, S2 is equal to the depression head in the well at a time T after the pumping stopped. Okay, so now we have to solve this situation to find out what is the Q value. Okay, yes, what I do, so I cannot go with the full depth of the aquifer or water level. What I do, I may consider, okay, please make a note on, let xx be the position of water level at any time T after the pumping was stopped, and let the corresponding depression head be S value. Have you got my point? Xx is the profile, X is the position of the water at any time T after the pumping was stopped, and you can also note down the depression head be S value. Depression that head will be S value. Is it okay? Xx you are familiar, and what is your S value? S value. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now similar to the previous, what we have considered a smaller portion, here also we'll consider a smaller portion, that is ds be the decrease in depression head in a time dt after the time t. So please remember this point. Okay, I'm considering a smaller decrease in the depression head, that ds, in a small time dt after the time t. Okay, yes. Now hence in the time t after the pumping is stopped, the water level, what will happen? Water level recuperates with the head of S1 minus S, and it again recuperates by ds in a time dt after this. So please make a note on this. Okay? So it's very simple. What you do is just pump out, allow the drawdown to happen, okay, and stop the pump and allow the water to recuperates further to a original level or to a say example a particular drawdown value. Okay, so here this I may not solve this problem in a complete depth of the aquifer, what I do, I may consider a smaller element of this condition. That's what is being mentioned. Okay, let ds be the depression, be the decrease in depression head in the time dt after the time t. Okay, and because of this time t, after time t, the pumping is completely being stopped. Water level recuperates by S1 minus S, S1 minus S. Okay, so therefore the volume of water entering into the well, you can calculate dV. That is dV. dV is equal to area into your ds value. This is what is being mentioned here. Okay, area into ds, where A is equal to cross sectional area of the well at the bottom. Cross sectional area the well at the bottom. Okay, so now the dV is also again rated volume of the water, that is q into dt. Okay, this also, if q is the rate of recharge into the well at the time t under a depression head of S, then volume also can be calculated using this formula, that is q into dt, q into dt. Okay, so we also already familiar, q is directly proportional to S. This also we have seen in the last class. Okay, qs is also proportional to S, and thereby q is equal to c dash in ds, where c dash is equal to constant depending upon the soil strata. C dash is the constant depending upon the soil strata. Thereby this becomes dv is equal to c dash s into dt, c dash s into dt. So now this is also a dv, and equation number 1 also a dv. Then you can equate these two. Okay, so if I equate these two, then I purposely given a negative value. So please make a note on negative value indicates this is drawdown. If time increases, drawdown. If time increases, drawdown decreases. Negative sign indicates yes, decreases with increasing time. So that's what is minus being given. Okay, so this equate the equation number 1. Equation number 1, that is dv is equal to a into ds, and equation number 3, that is also again a like dv value, that is c dash s into ds. So I given negative value because negative value indicates s decreases as t increases. Okay, so if I equate these two, then integrate for a whole term where t is equal to 0 to t, and s again s1 to s2, and if I go for a simple integration and substitute the limits, and you may get an equation like this. Okay, c dash by a, which is equal to 2.3 by t log to the base 10 s1 by s2. Is it okay? Okay, so anyway, you just look into the derivations later, you probably may understand. These are simple calculations or simple rearrangements of after integration and substitution of limits. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, you can equate 1 and 3. You just remember that equate 1 and 3. 1 is equal to volume, total volume of water entering into a system is equal to A into A ds, where A is equal to cross-sectional area of the well. Okay, and if the Q is the rate of discharge or recharge into the well, and S is equal to your depression head, you can also equate dV is equal to Q into dt, and we are also already familiar Q is directly proportional to S, and Q is equal to C dash into S, where C dash is a constant depending upon your soil strata. And equate 1 and 3, I may use minus value because negative sign indicates your drawdown decreases as time increases. Okay, so you can equate this, go for integration for a full one, where limits t is equal to 0 to capital T, and s tends to s1 to s2. Integrate. Okay, this the c dash by t is constant. Integration of t dt is equal to t, and ds by dt is equal to log s to the base e. Substitute the limits and convert to the base 10, and you may get the equations like this. C dash by a is equal to 2.3 by t log to the base 10 s1 by s2. Okay, where this C dash by a is equal to the specific yield of the well, or otherwise is called a specific capacity. Please make a note on. So that something is important. Specific yield of the well or specific capacity of the well in terms of Q max meter cube per second. Okay, Q max per meter square, meter cube per second per meter square of the area under unit head. Okay, this is something is important. Okay, so C dash by A, which is equal to specific yield or specific capacity. You can remember the unit, meter cube per second per meter square under unit depression head. Unit depression head. Okay, yes. But now, our interest to find out what is Q value. Okay, so we know Q is proportional to S. Q is equal to C dash into S. And C dash from the equation you can directly substitute, thereby Q becomes 2.3 by T log S1 by S2 log to the base 10 into A into S, A into S. So this is the equation, and depending upon the type of soil, and the C dash by L A value also varies from 0.25 to 1. 0.25 to 1. Okay, C dash by A value you can also pick up from this tabular column depending upon the type of soil, clay as well as fine sand and coarse sand. And for clay it is about 0.25, fine sand it is 0.5, and coarse sand is almost is 1. Okay, yes, is it okay? So this is something is important, very basic, and by using recuperating test, how to calculate the Q value in the open well. Q value in the open well. Theory also just remember, derivation part also just you just take care. And the third one is depending upon the type of soil and how the C dash the constant value C dash by A value also will vary. Okay, is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Let me repeat again. Recuperating test is very simple. Or just switch on the pump. You just make a heavy drawdown, then stop the pumping and allow the water to start rise in the well. And you just make a note on your time to come back the original water level or to a measured level and calculate your Q value. That's all. Okay, and you just mark, and here A and B and C and D. A and D is the initial water level, and C and D, because of heavy pumping, allow the water to replenish, okay, or recuperate, and it will come down to a level of E and F. So I may not solve with the whole, say example, water level or aquifer inside the system. What I do, I may consider a small portion and proceed further with your simple calculations. Okay, you just find out what is the volume of water entering into the well, and we know the formula. Q is proportional to the drawdown value, and again Q is equal to C dash into S, and this also again you can calculate what is your volume and equate both the things 1 and 3, and you can use negative value which indicates S decreases as time increases. Integrate with the time limits of 0 to capital T and draw down limits of S1 to S2, and you can calculate what is C dash by A value. And Q we are already familiar. Q is equal to C dash into S, and C dash you just substitute here to C dash is equal to again 2.3 A by T. You just substitute here, and you make it Q. And you can use this formula to calculate Q value from recuperating test. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now you can look into the problem. Here also I can do different calculations. Okay. So by knowing this formula, and I can able to calculate a Q value based on these type of soil, okay, clay, fine sand, and coarse value. And by knowing other parameters, I can able to calculate different parameters also. 1, and I can able to calculate 2, 3, so many calculations I can do it. Okay, so you look into the problem. Design an open well in a coarse sand for a yield of 0.0004 Qmax. Okay, when operated under a depression head of 3 meter. It's very simple. Okay, so Q values is being given. I convert in terms of meter cube per hour, and you can refer the tabular column. I have picked up C dash by A value as 1. Okay, that's what I've picked up from the tabular column. I have used 1 value. I have used 1 meter cube per hour per meter square per unit depression head. Okay, S directly is been given as 3 meter. So I can calculate Q is proportional to or Q is equal to C dash by A into S. Q already known. C by A or C dash by A is equal to 1 from a tabular column, and A is the unknown factor, and S is 3 meter, and A I can calculate, and A, it is a circular well, pi d square by 4, and thereby the diameter of the well can be calculated as 2.5 meter. Is it fine? Very simple, direct formula to calculate using the first one. Okay, pumping test. And the second one is by recuperating test. Okay, read the problem. Like during a recuperation test, water level in an open well was depressed by pumping almost is 2.5 meter and is again further recuperated by an amount of 1.6 meter by 70 minutes in 70 minutes. Okay, so using now recuperating test, you have to determine yield from a well of 3 meter diameter under depression head of 3.5 meter, and also the diameter of the well to yield 10 liters per day under a depression head of 2.5 meter. Okay, so you read the problem carefully and you can also play with that formula. That's all. Okay. Okay, so you can use this formula. C dash by A is equal to 2.3 by T into log to the base 10 S2 minus S1 by S2. Okay, S1 is its initial drawdown, that is 2.5 meter. S2 is equal to final drawdown, that is 2.5 minus 1.6. That is given in the problem. 1.6 after 17 minutes. So thereby this S2 is equal to 0.9 meter and T is equal to 70 minutes. Okay. This is T is equal to 70 minutes is taken, and 70 you just convert in terms of hour, that is 1.167 hours, and you can calculate what is C dash by A value by knowing all other parameters, and you can able to calculate what is C dash by A. C dash by A is here, it is 0.875 meter cube per hour per meter square per meter of depression head. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this you can use it. Okay, now the subsection A. Yeah, 2 minutes. Okay, yield from a well, Q is equal to C dash by A into S. C dash by A is from the previous calculation. A dimension is been given, pi d square by 4. Into drawdown also been mentioned in the problem, that is 3.5 meter. Thereby I can calculate what is Q value. Okay, the second subsection, it is been mentioned, I wanted to get water delivery of 10 liters per second. Okay, water delivery of 10 meter per second. Okay, and 10 I can convert in terms of 36 meter cube, and drawdown is also been mentioned in the problem as 2.5 meter, and with 2.5 meter drawdown and Q value of 36 meter cube per hour, and what could be the size. Okay, so you can use the same formula. Then all others values are known. C dash by A I calculated, and Q, then that is my requirement, and the S by pumping of 36 meter cube per hour, my drawdown will be 2.5 meter, and only the unknown value is A. So I can calculate area, it is 16.46 meter square, and based on that diameter I can fix as 4.6 meter. Is it okay? So that's what. Please don't look into as a problem, but look into as a concept and how to solve the problem with the different requirements. That is enough for the examination point of view. Okay. Last one is yield of a well and tube well. That is the Dupuit equilibrium formula that we'll discuss in the next class. Yeah. Is it okay? Whatever we discussed in the class are infiltration gallery and pumping from open well, that is pumping method, and recuperating test, how to calculate Q and other dimensions of the well. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So let me